You are listening to the In Between Sales Calls podcast with Derek Shebby, episode 32. Welcome, everyone. Real quick, did you know that I have another podcast? I do. I know it's crazy. I've got two podcasts. I never thought that I would, but the other one's called The Deal Breakdown. In it, I meet with a B2B salesperson and we dissect one of their deals from open all the way to the close. And I pull out all the sales lessons inside of it. Check it out when you have a moment. Just search The Deal Breakdown Podcast on your podcast player or sign up for my weekly newsletter on my website and I'll send you the episodes each week. Okay, a few episodes ago I talked about the struggles that I had in my early years in sales. If you're curious, check out the episodes Don't Take Yourself Too Seriously and That Time I Got a Letter in Sales. Now, I want to dive into one part of it a little bit deeper because I believe it could help you out. Whether you're a salesperson or any sales manager or above, this applies to you. I want to explore this concept of being coachable and what that means exactly. I mean, if I were to ask myself back when I was starting out in sales if I was coachable, I would have said, without a doubt, 100% yes. I would have said I wanted to learn everything I could from the successful ones in the company. I would soak up that knowledge and copy it. I wasn't going to spend the years trying to figure it out like they did. I was going to learn from the others' mistakes and quickly move to the top of the stacks. Did you feel the same way when you started sales? Do you feel the same way now? The irony of all this is that even though the things that I was saying sounded great, it couldn't have been further from the truth. My actions said otherwise. I didn't do any of that. My leadership team would give me good coaching. I challenged it. I would ask why. I would hide behind the idea that I wanted to understand the purpose behind the action, behind the advice. But looking back from the leadership side, I was just being difficult. I mean, where did that come from for me to want to understand the why for every piece of advice? Fear? Worrying that I would look bad? Not wanting to hurt someone's feelings? Questioning the logic and the plan itself? The bottom line is this. When you haven't had success in something and the person who's helping you has, and they're coaching you on how to do it right, just do it. Why do we make it so difficult? There's this quote that I've always liked here that applies right now, and it's never take advice from anyone you wouldn't gladly trade places with. So when we're talking about trading places in this situation, think about having that person who successfully completed something do that activity for you, whatever it is that you're asking for help in. Imagine having them do it for you. How certain would you be that it would be successful? Absolutely certain, right? Except we don't look at it that way. We challenge the advice. We become difficult. We make it bigger than it needs to be. It's difficult to handle someone who isn't coachable from the manager side. I've been there many times over my career. I mean, it could just be karma for all the troubles I gave my managers in my early days. But I've had so many salespeople and sales managers that I've led over the years act the same way. It's not easy coaching someone who isn't coachable. Sometimes as the sales leader, as sad as it sounds, you would rather not coach that person. It's just a drain on your energy. You want to help them so much, but they make helping them so difficult. Your approach ends up changing. You end up saying something like, look, go ahead, you try it then. Let me know how it goes. And you think that once they fail, things will change. They'll be open to really listening when that happens. And once they're open to being really coachable, then it will be a lot easier to have that coaching conversation. So here's the bottom line here. Being coachable isn't a skill you're born with. It's a skill that's developed over the years. It's a skill that is born when your own arrogance and ego becomes confidence. Today's success habit is to be coachable. All top sales performers are coachable. All of them. They know they can always get better. Always. And when there are people around that have more experience than them, they listen and they learn as much as they can because they understand that they know more than them. And the more that they can absorb and apply in their own sales game, the more money they can make. There are 3 characteristics of someone that's coachable. The first one is you are open to learning new things. Now, being open to learning new things doesn't mean, you're skeptical, but you're interested in seeing what you can learn. Being open means you're constantly seeking knowledge. You're reading books. You're listening to podcasts. You're applying what you learn daily. You're evaluating your own skills. You're looking at your own results and ratios and considering, how could I improve? You are actively looking to increase your results from your actions. This is different from the lifelong learner that doesn't do much action. Those people think they get better with knowledge alone. Couldn't be further from the truth though, right? Number 2 is you regularly seek out feedback from others. It doesn't matter what you just did. Coachable people want to get better. The way that they get better is by getting candid feedback from anybody. The brutally honest feedback. That's the feedback that leads to improvement, by the way. They're not afraid for someone to tell them that they sucked. They want to know why and how they can improve next time. Feedback is the breakfast of champions with coachable people. And number 3 is coachable people immediately act upon the feedback they get. Look, learning is a waste of time if it's not applied immediately. Coachable people don't just want to learn. They can't wait to try it out. They aren't there challenging the feedback. They are excited to implement it. They understand that if they do it exactly like they're instructed, they will have the best results. They want to see what happens. If you're coachable, that means you meet all 3 of these. That means you pay no attention to ego. Ego turns into confidence. That means you know you can always improve. Improvement means growth. That means you know that improving means more money. And more money is more success, right? Ask yourself if you really are coachable. If not, it's time to consider that you might be getting in the way of your own success. Being truly coachable means you will have no limits for growth and success. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for allowing me to join you on your sales journey. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out our free Top Performer Academy course. Inside it, I'll give you 12 sales tips that only the best salespeople do on a daily basis. Tips ranging from cold calling to running effective appointments, handling objections, and creating urgency in your deals. You can get it 100% free at www.modernSalesTraining.com/free. That's modernSalesTraining.com/free. These 12 tips could be the difference between you having a good month or an incredible one. I hope to see you there.